I started Cancer Fund because I wanted to make a real difference. As an investor, I'd seen many promising cancer therapies, diagnostics, and preventions fail because they couldn't get funding. With so much support for cancer charity and research, I just didn't understand how that could happen. But what I found was that the donations we make rarely, if ever, actually help move those innovations out of the lab and out in the real world to where they can help patients.
The idea of taking that same check that you might write to a charity and being able to put it in the cancer fund and have those funds go directly to where they can have the most impact. And, when you write a check to a charity, you never see that money again. When you write a check here, not only there's transparency, there has to be because of the model, there has to be transparency. So you'll always know what's going on with your money. So, I think it's a new concept, but I think it makes so much sense, especially for those of us that have been through this and recognize that research isn't necessarily all the answers. There's lots of research out there. Now they have to make things that support us, which is where new medications come from and new technologies and new preventions and diagnostics. And so, that's what excites me, is the fact that my money that I would normally put somewhere else, I can actually make a true difference, and it's all transparent.
My grandmother was diagnosed with cervical cancer when I was in middle school. My memories of the time are pretty vague at this point, but I do remember my mother being very afraid. My memories are much more vivid of the time when a few years later, as a junior in college, I received a call from my mom to tell me that my dad had lung cancer. He passed away just a few months later while I was still a junior. Cancer has always seemed like this deep, dark threat lurking in the shadows that was just waiting to come out and pounce, to disrupt life, to ruin health, and to kill me. Years later in my career, I had the opportunity to work with an entrepreneur in Seattle, Washington, to launch a bottled water brand that benefited women's cancer research with its profits. It was a great opportunity to work in the cancer field, to meet researchers, scientists, and doctors who were working towards a cure, and to really feel like I was doing something for the good, something that would benefit people. About 3 years ago, I moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and during my transition process, I met Anthony Bajoris, who had this idea for a thing called Cancer Fund. It took me about a second to decide to jump and join him. It was a great opportunity for me to leverage the skills that I'd spent my entire career building, to do something meaningful for people and to reconnect with a cause that had so much impact in my life. I couldn't be happier to be where I'm at. I couldn't be happier to work with the team that I'm working with. And we all see great things ahead.
I learned about Cancer Fund earlier this year and found the premise so refreshing. I spent most of my career with nonprofit organizations, particularly in the nonprofit health sector, and I've been impacted by cancer on both a personal and professional level. While the work I've done with nonprofits was rewarding, it also sometimes felt like just spinning my wheels. I found that I had the opportunity to shift directions a bit in my career and work on something unique with people who are profoundly passionate about the mission. And that just really appealed to me. I'm thrilled to be part of such a dynamic team, and I know the work we are doing here at Cancer Fund is offering more than hope. It's real, tangible impact.
Hi, happy holidays. I learned of the Cancer Fund earlier this year and found the premise so refreshing. As a practicing radiation oncologist, I see cancer patients on a daily basis, trying to help them with their disease. I've also had significant experience in the business aspect of cancer development, and therefore I'm very excited to be a part of the Cancer Fund and look forward to giving my insight and expertise to help develop the next stage and development of cancer care. Thank you. Happy holidays.
I learned about the Cancer Fund in September 2020 via a virtual job fair for individuals seeking exposure to venture capital, startups, and the innovation economy. Personally, I was looking for an opportunity to learn how to evaluate early stage companies, learn how to deploy capital, and to get an experience about what it's really like to be a venture capitalist. What I find most appealing about the Cancer Fund is that we aren't primarily focused on ROI. However, we're primarily focused on impact. Being able to make an impact in the lives of entrepreneurs, cancer patients, and their families assures me that the work we're doing at the Cancer Fund is truly meaningful.
I know Anthony Bajora's known him for a better part of a decade now, and he said, I have some work for you. I want you to go watch this video first and see if it's for you. Like, okay. I don't know how to edit video. I don't know how to do any of this. So he sends me to the Lowdown on Cancer YouTube channel. I was like, okay, I want to know more. I believe in Ann already, and I've obviously believed in Anthony, and then I found out what the Cancer Fund truly was, and I'm in. You know, I was in right when I really found out about what it was. I was in before that. And then even more so now, seeing how important this is to everybody involved. I mean, my aunt battled non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She's in remission now, thankfully. She's, getting healthier. But hearing what happened with Anne and Anthony's history, and even, Shoshana and Jeff, I mean, everybody's impacted. And I wanted to be a part of something like that, where people truly care about the mission, and it's not just writing a check and not knowing where the money goes. And it's a beautiful organization to be a part of.